You talked on the panel just now about some of the things that you look for in content at Mania TV. Hit on some of those points for you in terms of what you guys look for, what kind of episodic shows you want to produce.
Sure, we think it's really important when producing original programming like we do at Mania TV to think about the platforms that you're going to be delivering that content to, and not just repurpose a great idea on one platform as is to another. So the things that we think are really important online is that we get out of this clip paradigm, and you mentioned episodic content. I think it's exceptionally important so that you can form a relationship with the viewer to get them to come back again and again and again, as opposed to be all about one particular clip that might be fantastic for a couple of minutes, but then you commoditized yourself and have lost that viewer to get them to come back the next time. So think more pyramid, less obelisk, so that you can have that kind of an ongoing relationship with people. So episodic is vitally important, made for the platform so that you can actually think about the intimacy and the emotional connection that you can have with a viewer when they can reach out and touch the device that you're delivering the content to. So making it for the platform and shooting it for the platform and writing it for the platform. So when you shoot something for a mobile phone, it has to be shot very differently. The consumption experience is very different platform to platform, so it's important to think about that.
Meaning more tight shots so people look bigger on the small screen.
Tighter shots for mobile phones, and then also conceivably a different type of navigation to when you're presenting that content, so that they have a way to experience it in a way that's right. So it's not just about a particular clip, but they can actually go to the next episode. So the presentation of that content needs to be thought about so that it can be consumed in a right and relevant way for that platform. The third piece that's important is the idea of interactivity and emotional attachment, so that you can once again really leverage the interactivity that the platforms provide. So writing and creating storylines that directly engage people in ways that call them to action, and that action can vary from entertainment idea to entertainment idea. But the idea of sitting back and watching on a PC, we think is a flawed mentality. That's really that 10-foot experience people talk about on a plasma display across your family room. They actually get people to engage, and you have to write differently. Think American Idol. American Idol's show, that programming idea was predicated upon audience involvement. That show didn't move on unless you voted for whom it is that you loved, or voted for whom it is that you didn't vote for the person that you hated. But they really played upon an emotion in an interactive way. The fourth piece that we think is super important is that you build audience by design, so that you actually produce in ways that have people show up to watch your program, to watch your shows by design, so that it's shot in a way, it's promoted in a way, it's engaged in a way that actually gets people to show up before the marketing is actually hit, and people know about it before it's actually been out, so you don't have to have that spontaneous combustion that takes place with a lot of viral clips. You actually can have some level of success that's built in and guaranteed. And the fifth piece, and it's really the most important piece for us, and it's that the shows are profitable. And the way that we run our business is that every show that's greenlit is profitable by design. So we know what the advertisers are going to be. We know what the budgets for the production is going to be. We know how much it's going to cost to distribute, market, and promote. And we know how much money is going to be left over for the creator, as well as for Mania TV. So profitability then ultimately becomes paramount, so that every single show that we do, every single project that we take on is successful financially by design.
When I talk about your cost structure, you said sometimes you tell old Hollywood studio types you make an episode for $2.5. They think million, you mean $2,500. So you obviously, your cost basis is a lot lower, and you talked a little bit about what you make per episode also on some shows. Could you just give us the economics of that?
Sure. We really have to keep the economics down, because the way that people will continue to invest in this is if that it's not a sinkhole. So creators have to find a way to make a living doing this, and our investors absolutely expect our business to be profitable. And so for every single project we take on, we understand what that cost model is, and we've figured out the technologies and the production techniques and the ways that you write certain shows, the way that you shoot them, the way that you edit them. There's certain ways that cost more, and there's certain ways of doing things that cost less. So in the traditional network television show, when you say $2.5, when they think million, it's because they're going to have a half a dozen different light kits half a dozen different lines that are going to be set from different camera angles, and so they'll massively increase the production cost and then the post cost as well, and as a result the entire budget goes up. What we do right out of the get-go is get these things right, have much fewer takes, much fewer post-production cost, and we can get the cost down. So for really an average show that we produce on our network costs between $2,500 and $3,000 an episode, and we're able to get $10,000 to $15,000 in revenue against that one particular episode. So there's plenty of money to be made, for creators and for our investors.
And last question, you talked about 3 different types of ads that you sell. I think differentiated, undifferentiated, and then targeted. Just if you could hit those quickly, what they are.
Sure. We do a level 1 is really just an easy way to buy and to get on the network, and it's undifferentiated. So it's really just associating a display ad or some kind of a video ad with a piece of content within a category, say the comedy category on our network. And we're in the music, comedy, and video game segments right now. The second level is much more of an enhanced experience where there's overlay ads and interactive ads, and it's much more rich media experience, and you can be targeted and differentiated to one particular show, so you can have brand association with a particular show. And then the third level is more custom production, where we can integrate brand messaging into content that's right and relevant for the brand campaign that's being executed by the advertiser.
Okay. And are most of your shows watched on the web or on mobile phones? Do you have
right now, most are on the web. We launched mobile phones distribution in the second quarter of this year, and right now we see it mostly as a promotional tool, and it's very interesting to see consumption habits, and we're learning from it. As people watch more and more. So what we see happening eventually is that there'll be permutations of shows that we have on our main network and through our distribution partners. There'll be versions of that'll find their way to mobile devices, and so we'll produce for that platform, just like we do produce for the internet. And then there will be mobile-only shows that are just fantastic ideas for a particular platform, and that platform will be a mobile phone.
Okay, Peter Hoskin, CEO of WebTV. Thanks for talking.
Thank you very much.